I have loving, good parents, good grandparents. We was all raised in the church. It was my adult year when I took and I turned to drugs. I wanted to fit in with the crowd. It was when we would take breaks at work. I would take and they would go outside and smoke marijuana, and that's what it started. It started from marijuana to using crack cocaine, snorting cocaine. I took and I pulled away from my family. I took and I started stealing. I would lie, cheat, steal, and it just destroyed my life. It led me to where I took and sold my body for drugs. I took and I would do anything it was to take care of my drug habit. Ended up in jail, back and forth like a revolving door. Prostitution, shoplifting, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest. I had a printout of my record from down to jail, and I think it was like 16 pages long. I just destroyed my life within a matter of years. 30 years I was a drug addict. My husband helped me a lot. He stuck with me a long time. He cried, he prayed, he would come looking for me when I would take him and go back out and go do wrong. He would forgive me, and he's been there for me. He knew me for 10 years before we got married. I was at the Waffle House one night, and he came up, and the only thing I ordered was a grilled cheese sandwich, about the cheapest thing it was on the meal. And he asked me, was I hungry? And I told him, yeah. You know, and we sat down and we ate. We had some coffee, and you know, and from then on, a conversation started from there. And from then, he asked me, well, where do you live? I told him, well, I can meet you somewhere else. And from then, I think he knew that I didn't have anywhere to live. I was living on the street. So he told me, he said, well, I'll meet you. And from then, he would come and get me, and I would actually stay at my mom's just for him to come by and pick me up, and we would go eat and go places. And one year he picked me up and told me, well, we rode down the Ringo, and we just walked around the courthouse, around the little area around there. He said, one day we're going to get married, and we're going to get married in there. And we did. We actually did. I was trying to stop. I would stop for about 4 months, and then I ended up starting back. And then I would stop and go back, and then I ended up back in jail. And I had a sentence of 10 years. It was to go to prison or to see about getting some help. So I needed help, so I went and got help. It took me to my lowest before I decided I wanted to change my life. And I took and stepped up, and Teen Challenge took me in, and it changed my life. The way we would praise God and get to know Him and let Him live in us was different from just being out there and being alone and lost. And you know, I didn't see my way out of it until God said, lift your head up and take it and face it, and He would take it away, and He took it. I've been off drugs for 4 years. 1 year in Teen Challenge and 3 on my own. I'm a presser at dry cleaners. I took and I restored my family. My husband helped me out a lot, and he done moved me from off the street to a home in Harrison, and he had blessed me. He makes sure I have a car to drive. Proverbs 14:1. A wise woman would build a house but a foolish woman would tear it down with her own hands. I was actually tearing my house down, and I didn't know it. And now I'm building my house with God. That's amazing.
How great the love of Jesus Christ. Upon the cross of Calvary, the blood was shed that pardons me. No longer bound, no